Hello, this is Doc Penguin Doc. Today I bring you the JB-75 Starclipper. This is another Star Wars ship, but I doubt you've ever heard of this one. In episode 4, when Obi-Wan and Luke are passing through Tatooine, there's a couple of debris clusters that they pass by. One of these happens to be a downed ship, which is our Starclipper. Personally, I never even recognized that this was a downed ship, but this past month, if you've never heard of the channel E.C. Henry, I highly recommend him. He creates videos just looking at different background ships in Star Wars and even a couple Star Trek ones. And he takes those background ships and just gives them a fully realized backstory and model and everything. And it is always very fascinating. This past month, he looked at this Tatooine wreck where he uncovered a production drawing of what the full ship could have looked like. And based on that, he created a full model and name and various renders. So that's what my ship is largely based on. I recommend you check out his video in the description below. That'll show you some more details about the Starclipper. Without further ado, let's get on to the tour. Welcome to the tour portion. So here we have the Starclipper. There's not too much to say about the exterior. It was probably, just basically a napkin drawn by some guy for the production. So it is pretty basic. It's also pretty small, only clocks in around 50 meters. So not a massive ship. It's got the 4 engine pods, and the tail is pretty nice. One immediate flaw you might see in the design, though, is the engines are sitting directly in front of the tail fin, which does not seem the most logical, but if you looked at E.C. Henry's video, he kind of had a rationalization in the comment section that that tail fin is actually an electromagnetic vectoring apparatus of sorts, which is sort of a fun little retcon to just a design quirk. Apart from that, though, really not much to say about the exterior. So I guess we can just move on to the inside. So if you come up to the bottom of the ship, you will see a button there, which will extend the boarding ramp. And once you climb up the boarding ramp, gravity module will be right there, and you can close it back up. You can bring out the HUD. Similarly with the exterior, not a lot to say about the interior. Just got one sliding door and the ramp, of course, but pretty much all the rail shenanigans going on. There's a little bit of detailing that I was able to spare room for. On the boarding ramp, we have a little health pack station. We have the access to the main cargo of about 2,000 units. Right here at the boarding ramp, theoretically, you just store light cargo right there. But once you move past the boarding ramp area, which I should also mention, the new console interaction feature in the newest update is included there. But moving past the boarding ramp, just 2 little indents here. One of them you can't actually enter because of this bar thing, but if you actually leave gravity, you can sneak in here. There's a door for privacy since this is the crew cabin. And then this one, same situation, but you can just use the chair. Get in here. Oh. Interesting. Apparently that will crash your game. Quite seriously. So we will be right back. Alright, we're loading back in, so note to anybody watching, do not touch consoles that are not connected to anything. Those red consoles were just decorative, but with the new update, which gives them the ability to interact with things. Apparently that will crash your game, so do not do that. Do not touch the red button. To escape, you can just kind of sit, same as you got in there, because of the little bar trap. We gotta re-enter gravity. Anyway, after all that, we can continue on to the bridge, which is the last area. Just got 2 seats here. These do have functionality, these consoles. One does the boarding ramp, one does the landing gear. If you push the button, there's a little audio cue. I should also mention they've added audio for that, as well as audio for force fields, which is pretty neat. But that's not really important to the ship. Just thought I would mention it. Also in the bridge, we have another gravity module. We have the rail speed computer and the faction module. These 2 flanking consoles do the 2 rail functions, but the center console is the core. You can just, touch the core from there, but you can also get in it straight from there with the new console functionality, which is neat. But yeah, it's the singular rail door, this boarding ramp, and our landing gear are the only 3 rail features. So let's take a look at the landing gear, which is your second button. So it is a sort of tripod landing gear. There wasn't enough room to fit the actual toes of the landing gear onto here, so they are just plex. But overall, they are a pretty neat effect. The center balance, is a bit questionable, but I think it would balance properly. There's certainly worse landing gear in Star Wars. There's also these 2 turrets on the side. Currently in this update, there seems to be a bug where you can't actually fire remote turrets, but they are moving, so they do work, as far as I'm aware. Just not at the moment. It doesn't have any onboard weapons, it's just those 2 turrets, which, obviously don't really do anything, they're just for decorative purposes. The boarding ramp is slot 1, landing gear is slot 2, slot 3 is those turrets. Slot 4 is, I believe, this USD style dock there. And then all the way at slot 9, if I sort of do this. Okay, no. I will correct myself. Slot 4 is this docker right here for landing. Slot 9 is the USD style landing dock for space. And then we have a jump drive in slot 0 or slot 10. That's it as far as functionality. Nothing else going on here. It's pretty cramped on the inside since this whole tube is pretty much all interior. You want to peek in the back here. This whole rear section that could have been systems is all fitted out for these landing gear and also the boarding ramp. So not a lot of room to work with. We can just pick up a reactor block. The reactor is solely located in that area. There is shields, capacitors within those engines, and shield rechargers in those engine pods. Just if you're curious where these systems are, which we can take a look at the actual systems. Here's the width, height, and length. Structure information, power information, thrusters, got the 5.0 thrust to mass ratio. Well, actually, we'll take take a look at the reactor as well. I was originally I cannot speak today. I was originally building this for the, what was it? Solar Racing Ship Community Build Initiative. I ran out of time. Frankly, I would have built the ship anyway, of course. But I figured I would include these still, the top speed and turn rate. Say it's a byproduct of this vectoring device, electromagnetic vectoring device. And then also just a standard auto charge, all tucked back there. The shields, we have 3250 capacity, 650 charge. No weapons aside from the turrets, which there are 2 of. But that is pretty much going to cover the JB75 Starclipper. Again, I recommend E.C. Henry's video, which fully realizes this background ship from Star Wars. But with that, thank you for watching, and have a great day.